Good afternoon. Frederick here. So today it's wash day. I'm gonna see if I can clean this guy up a bit. So I thought let me take you guys along for the ride. So let's quickly pressure wash it. I don't think I'm gonna rub it down with a cloth, but let's see how I feel. Maybe. But yeah. Before we start something, let's see at least what we're working with. And then I wanna start taking out the dash. So let's get cleaning.
Flat tires, cracked glass, sunburned on the yard. This rusted out disaster shouldn't keep us down hard. Knuckle buster, strip bolt, handprints on the wrench. Breathing in the sparks on the old garage bench. This promise under panels, waiting underground. Will drag that sleeping metal back into its prime. Sparks fly, engines cry, push it to the red line. No map, no pause, we're running out of time. Slam the hood, drop the clutch like the midnight track. Take a piece of junk and we bring it right back. Bring it right back. Bring it right back.
But yeah, even with a degreaser and pressure washer, look at the stains down the bonnet. It doesn't come off. That's honestly crazy. Look at that. Even the car on the roof got a few dents. But look at the dirt. It doesn't even come off. It's crazy. It's gonna need a proper scrub down. Like a proper scrub down. Don't know why I'm battling with my pressure washer. My foamer is giving me issues. Well, I could probably put it on the pressure washer. The quick connect broke, so I had to put a new one on, but it keeps jumping out. Oh, nothing just wants to work today. But at least it's got a quick rinse. Looks a bit better. I wonder if I should quickly pull the dash while everything is still wet and make a mess. At least the majority of the paint still staying onto the bumper, which is surprisingly cool. So it's like minimum repair work or patchwork that's going to be needed. But beginning of August I'm going to pull the front clip anyway, so it's going to go get finished off. And then we'll do the rear. I'll probably reprint this piece. This piece got messed up. I'll probably just 3D print the piece again. I did print the new section that I sent with, because this corner got messed up by my gardening people 3 years ago. I 3D printed a whole section, and yeah, that also got lost. So yeah, I think we should maybe just start pulling the dash. The tunnels, my dad will probably bring the tunnel today or tomorrow, because I don't have space in my car. So I think we can just go ahead with pulling the dash out again, just to see how everything looks. So let's talk more work. Let's get started.
Chrome bitten dough, time to roll up my sleeves and make her whole. Grease in my palms, sparks in my eye. Under July lights, we swear she'll fly. Hear the engine turn over, hear the cylinder fire. Feed the ghost in the machine, take it higher and higher. From a pile of dead iron to a scream on the street. We're putting life back in the driver's seat. Back on the
That was not too bad. This is where we left last off. As you can see, I did paint the, as you remember, I did paint the brace because they're all rust and it's annoying. Not that it was necessary, but the wiring to an extent looks okay. So yeah, let's get this heater box pulled, and then this whole brace with the heater box, and then we can take it from there.
Hear the engine turn over, hear the cylinder fire, feed the ghost in the machine, take it higher and higher, from a pile of dead iron to a scream on the street. We're putting life back in the driver's seat, back on the road. Yeah, we own the night. Swapping better parts, laying on fresh paint, wrenching bolts till the metal learns to complain. Sand down the edges, spark up the plug, pull the rusted heart back into the thud exhaust cough.
Okay, that was the last thing I would expect to pull from this car again. So now we've got pretty good access to the whole bulkhead, and it looks like we've got so much room to play with. Just need to get rid of these linkages. I can actually loosen them up again. Because we won't be using them again. So yeah, I went through every single one of these parts, cleaned out every single individual part, just so I need to do it again, also I can do it again. It's so annoying. Okay, the dash is out. That was fairly easy, simple. I forgot where 2 screws were, but I managed to figure it out. So now it's just a matter of pulling this whole wiring harness back. Yeah, I'll probably pull this whole wiring loom out, and also from the engine bay. Can't find my bonnet latch. Sit in a hat one somewhere. It's missing. So should have washed this engine bay. It's also just as dirty, but nevertheless. Now the question is where to fit the V6. We have a lot of room here. You're gonna have to take off the gearbox mount brace, but we have a lot of space here. You can get the V6 door belt here, because the radiator will reside in here, so the V6 can come up to here. So yeah, if we delete a majority of those things, we should actually be able to get the engine in here. We might actually be able to keep the original steering rack and subframe, depending where the V6 sump will be. Sorry. So yeah, we'll need to throw out the spot welds, take that out. We'll probably have to build a whole new brace for the V6, like a whole new frame down here, but it shouldn't be too hard. As long as we can just get it in there, then to fine tune all the smaller things shouldn't be too difficult. And I don't know, that looks like a lot of space to me. Maybe not in lengthwise, but you have to put in account that the radiators are going to be inside the cowl there. So from there to there, we might even be able to put a V8 in here if we really wanted to. But yeah, we do have some brake lines and stuff that's going to be in the way, but we're probably not going to use any of those lines. We'll probably just rip everything out and just put like a normal, just the master and the boost. We'll keep the original master and booster. We'll blank off the clutch drain, and we'll just put in like normal 1400 lines to go to the brake calipers in front, and the same with the rear. So then we can delete the ABS pumps. Like, who needs ABS, especially on a car that we're probably gonna go drift and spin around and stuff. We might top up to close those wheel wells, we might make covers to make it just tidy, like, you know, bit more pretty. The shock mounts, we most probably gonna have to cut them, both of them, and just move them a bit more out if we're gonna go to the Sierra suspension. I'm still deciding. I'm still deciding exactly what suspension to use, but I like the Fiesta suspension. It's, I can't say cheap, but it's quite strong. It's stiff. I like it. So when we get to the point where we're going to have to do some cutting, we take out the tunnel and then we start test fitting with the block and the engine. Then we can see what's going to hit, and then we can decide from there where are we going to put what. And then, yeah. So first we get the engine and gearbox in. And then we take it from there. We already stripped out like almost the whole car, so we're not gonna miss much. But yeah, the brake lines is, I said, the only thing that's in the way there, but it shouldn't be a massive hassle. The heater box and this cowl, we can literally just weld up that hole if we want to delete everything up there. I don't think it's going to be in the way, but just in case, we can block off all those things. You know, we can just open up a window if we really need to. But yeah, exciting. We've got a lot of electronics in this car. I'll probably delete a lot of it. I would like to keep the original, like, you know, flicker lights and all that stuff. It doesn't require the ECU to work. We just need a BCM and a cluster. Well, you don't even need the cluster technically, but the BCM we do need, and the ignition and stuff. So it's looking good. I'll probably cut the fenders over here where the joints are. There should be joints there, and then we can pull the bumper, and then we can pull the whole valance or the cradle, and then yeah, then we can just like scooch the V6 in there after we've basically cut out the whole tunnel. We'll just need to figure out where we're gonna cut exactly. But that hole for the heater box, sorry about that, the hole for the heater box is a very good indication where we're going to be cutting. It looks like it looks actually too high. No, that's perfect. We'll see when the tunnel arrives. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. I've got a bunch of stuff to pack away. The dash doesn't look too bad. I'm still salty that I have to wash it all over again. But again, like I said, if that whole massive heater box is out, we can push the whole engine back towards this where this was. So if we need to come back with a V6, we can do it with ease. Actually want to get the engine slightly more tilted backwards. The more I can get the engine to mid, the more I'll actually enjoy it. I think it'll be way more better if we can push more weight behind the wheels. But yeah, that's the challenge for the next day. If we can get the what's the word? If my dad can just bring the tunnel, then I can continue. Pedals, honestly, I don't care too much about the pedal assembly. We can, I still got brakes. We can basically take off the whole assembly, and we can just put a Ford Escorts one on a, because I've got a theory that the tunnels it's gonna hit that pedal, the clutch pedal. So I already pulled the pedal assembly from the Sierra, so there's a big chance we could just make it fit in here. I'm quite confident, because we need the throttle pedal anyways, so we're gonna have to pull the electric on, and then we're gonna have to pull the sound damping first before we do anything. But for that to be able to pull that, we have to pull all the pedals, the fuse panel, the wiring, and then we can just basically rip it out. But if we loosen that, we're gonna loosen the booster. But we can maybe leave it in the engine bay. I would like to keep it. Sorry, me yawning. Ooh. I would like to keep it. For instance, yeah, so this is where we're at. This is actually fast. These cars are so easy. I love Fiestas. These cars are so easy, so durable. Their chassis is incredibly strong. I cut one's body off one day of a Figo. I wanted to put a Mark II Escort shell on top of the Figo chassis, like, you know, old car with everything new. But then my friend needed an engine, I helped him out, and then next thing now, it just got parted out. But it was still worth it. Made good money from it, so I can't complain. I didn't lose anything, and the Mark II Sport I cut up squatters were used on another project, and the doors and stuff was used on another project. And that car's chassis was so gone. It literally, I had to cut 4 places to just pull the whole shell off the chassis. It was beyond saving. I should have pictures somewhere, but yeah, I don't want to bore you guys. I'll need to wash these seats seriously. I might pressure wash them. Well, I've got everything here. I might just pressure wash them quickly. Or at least the bottom ends. The rats couldn't get to the top that easily. It stinks, but not as bad as the bottoms. I want to just clean those bottoms. So I think I'll quickly just pressure wash them, put them upwards somewhere where they can dry, not get eaten or chowed by the dogs. And then, yeah, I'll chuck the dash back into the car. The brace, I don't know. I don't have space. There you can see the balance on the Mark II, or the Mark III. It's just pushed in there. Nothing is welded or anything, but just to give you an idea, I'm still testing gaps and stuff. I still need to make a battery tray for the car. What we did do, I can't remember if I posted it on the video. I did make a patch panel for the bottom quarter. Put down here. Oh, but this way it's so bad, so I did make a whole replacement panel for you. So yeah, it's my first attempt, so don't judge me. I cut this, I needed that exact angle. I cut that from a bonnet, from an XR3, an old bonnet, scrap rusted bonnet. So yeah, but we're starting to be getting surface rust slowly, not a lot. Luckily things don't rust yet, so, but we need to get this moving, get this doing. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly rip out these headlights, and yeah, I'm probably gonna rip out the headlights. I want to cut the bumper so badly, but I'll leave it. The body guy that's going to come do the body work is going to start the 2nd of August. So I've still got enough time to pull this stuff off and cut it off in preparation for him. It's going to go to his shop. The rear we're going to have to do on the car because of those gaps and stuff. So we have to redo it on the car. But yeah, my dad was supposed to bring the tunnel today. So then I would have had better footage for you guys where we can test fit it and decide where we're going to cut. But there was a no-show. So damn, that bonnet looks bad. But yeah, there was a no-show. So I think I'm gonna call it here. I'll do this moving and stuff off camera. It's like really boring. I'm already boring you guys as is, so I'm gonna call it here. So yeah, this is just a quick update on where we are. So yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Cheers.